Welcome to the Board of Health meeting this evening, January 28th, 2026. Happy New Year to everyone out there. This evening, our chairman was unable to attend, so the vice chairman gets to step in and run the show tonight. Let's see, starting up, bring the meeting to a meeting call to order.
Joyce.
I call meeting, that seconded.
Okay, would you like to call yourself present?
Present.
Is it present? Tom is present.
Colleen's present.
And Jack Malone present.
All right. Everyone's here, almost everyone's here.
Sorry, I was reading first thing.
No worries. Let's see, good and welfare for the public.
I have nobody here online or in the audience.
Okay, so we'll move to our next agenda item, which is new business. First up, we have trash and recycling industry discussion.
All right, Mr. Vice Chairman, we have Mike Sespan here from E.L. Harvey, who's here in person to discuss with the board what he believes is heading towards for trash and recycling services. So Mike, you want to come up and introduce yourself?
Step on up.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Thank
You for the invite.
This wonderful weather.
Beautiful weather.
This was sunny today.
Yeah, it is. It was nice and warm there with the sun out, 20 degrees, a lot better than what we're gonna have tomorrow morning.
So my first question, why was trash delayed one day this week? No, don't have to answer that. We'll give you a pass.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll give you a pass.
Thank you.
I know you're here to kind of talk about in general what's happening with the industry, and I know.
I mean, recycling right now is kind of, all commodities are kind of in a tank, so recycling is costing more than than actually getting rid of the trash is in most places, just because of the processing fee, and it's just, the market's going right now. So that's kind of the future that we're gonna look at.
Yeah.
We've got, another 3 years with the Wheeler Brader deal? Or two more years?
2 more years.
Yeah, 2 more years. I know they're already talking about, with the committee. I know this committee been formed.
Yeah, Jack and I are on that committee.
Good. So that's good. So, and like you said, that's the best, because you can't beat the disposal that Wheeler Brader can provide. So going to an incinerator always works out well when you're talking, and the amount of towns and the rates you guys got are well below market rate right now. So if you can extend that, that's a good deal. So, but yeah, because there's really no disposal. When you look around in Massachusetts, if it's not an incinerator, there's no landfills. It's all transfer stations. Everybody is railing trash out of Massachusetts.
Mhm.
There is nobody that isn't, whether it's Republic, Waste Management, Casella, even Win with the incinerators is actually railing trash out of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So it's just, just the nature of the business. There are no one wants a landfill. Nobody wants a transfer station in their backyard. So it's just kind of like, what we're up against. So you start looking across the country and there's more land out there that have landfills and different things like that. So that's kind of what, the future is going to be. So incinerators work well. The good benefit Mendon has with having us as your hauler is we don't have to sit in the lines at Wheeler Brader. So everything goes back into our plant where it gets processed and loaded into trailers, and we're able to run it into Wheeler Brader. So we're not sitting there with trucks waiting, at some place for 2.5 hours. A lot of your contracts right now, if you're dictating that we go to Wheeler Brader, all of them want a wait clause in there. So after 30 minutes, they want to be able to charge the town a wait time. So when you look at that and you add all that on to everything else, that can become CMAS down in Carver, which we do a lot when I do my Fall River pieces down there.
Mhm.
This year there was 5-hour waits.
Oh, gosh.
So you think about, putting a truck in there, now you get a 5-hour wait. Everybody's got 60-hour rules, so we're all fighting with 60-hour rules. But very strict right now with 60 hours. So we're just trying to make sure everything flows right. So like with the snowstorm, it made sense for us to cancel. There's going to be some streets we won't be able to get up, sure. As every community is going to have the same thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be a plan B. And if that storm comes in Sunday, like they're saying, that's going to be a mess. That's going to be a real mess. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully they're wrong and it stays out to sea and we don't have to worry about it. So.
And the company that, for those of you out there that Mike's referring to, Wheeler Brader, that's in
Millbury.
Millbury, Mass.
Yeah.
That's the company where all the trash vendors go to.
A lot of them go there, like the municipalities, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when they did this, they were struggling to get trash into the incinerator. So they made a great pack with all these communities. Said, yeah,
Mentioned part of that.
yeah. So, bring it in. We're going to give you a great rate. And the rate was way below what the market was back then. And you've only had a very small increase every year since then.
Yeah.
So you are so far, all these communities are so far below market rate that, it's just a great spot to be sitting in. And like I said, with 2 more years, I know everybody's looking for volume. Everybody's always doing. So I'm sure that Wynn isn't looking to give up these 20 communities. So I think you sit in a good spot. But like I said, recycling is really becoming the piece that's so hard to manage and get process, So, and I always have the conversation. We started recycling to do the right thing for the environment, and put the extra truck on the road. In some cases you can run a split body like we do here in Mendon. So 1 truck, 1 pass. But the cost of fuel, the cost of prevailing wage, the cost of the truck now. At one point in time, recycling becomes such a burden when you look at it. So, but it is the way. We're not changing that. Massachusetts, we're going to find something else to put on a waistband item.
Well, I will say, I think the service has been fantastic
Oh,
that
definitely.
E.L. Harvey's been offering, what Mike has done for us. I think the residents have benefited greatly, as you pointed out.
Yeah, and Phil's a great guy.
Well, we have the best driver in the business.
Oh, yeah.
Phil, shout out to Phil.
It's always nice to
Yeah.
see the compliments come across the board when we hear different things about Phil.
He's very, very good.
And they take it like it's their own route. And, I started that when I was with the last company that, I put these guys on the town and I do not bounce them around.
Yep.
Start the same place you start every day and just run through the route, and let's make it happy for the customers. Because I'm telling you, I'm getting beat up pretty bad on Facebook right now, no matter what town you look at, because we just can't service the roads. And, you think about it, they're off 4-wheel drive, they're having issues going down their own street. Then they think we're going to put a truck down that street and try and pick up the trash. So a lot of people understand, and then it's just got the few that don't. They're like,
Right.
I pay my taxes. So, okay, thank you, but we can't get the
Yeah, but
choice.
safety first.
Yeah, it's always safety first. Yeah,
Always.
that's our number 1 priority.
Yep.
Waste connections is safety first.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I know that we have kind of felt about you folks, the job you've done. How would it be from your perspective, how Mendon has done for you folks? Has it been a good community to kind of be in? And
yeah, no, I think it's a great community. I think, doing the cots made such a difference. It keeps Phil out here where Phil's not going to worry about getting hurt or anything like that.
Yeah.
It cuts our workers' comp down tremendously because now you're not getting out of the truck, except for the overflow bags every once in a while. The fact that you give 2 cots for trash eliminates the issue, I think, of a lot of extra bags that you got to get out for, because now you just have 2 cots there. No, I think it's a great community. We've taken the bulk, we've eliminated, the free bulks where you can have, the bulk, and now they just pay for it. That reduced the amount of bulk that we have. No mattresses, so that's huge for us. We hate mattresses. I mean, that's a tough thing to manage. I'd much rather have them go to. I give them other names. Hey, sweetie, you need to go because we don't want to manage them. But but other than that, I mean, everything's good. Glass is the hardest thing I think out of commodity to get rid of right now. It's just because about the only good glass that you could recycle are the ones that are at the vending stores, where you go in and you put your nickels in to get your nickels back, and that's sauce separated by white, brown, and green. So you kind of get all that separated. That is clean. You get to a curbside program, it becomes landfills cover and shaping, or inside the ditch, underneath the tar, because they can put it in the tar. So it does become a reuse. So you get the benefit of using it as a reuse for recycling purposes, but it's really not ever recycled. It comes off the curb like this. So, and that's probably, it's got to be anywhere from 15%, I would say, of the recycled commodity, sometimes higher, depending upon the community. Like Duxbury has a very high commodity on glass, and they got a big transfer station out there. So every community is a little different, but depending upon what your makeup is, that if you're not recycling, a lot of people do the drives for Boy Scouts, so they'll do things with the Boy Scouts and collect the nickels and different things like that, which helps them out and doesn't hurt anyone in the town for
Right.
that. So, but
Joyce, do you have anything you'd like to ask or?
Well, no, I mean, I've been involved in that way back in the day. I mean, I was part of getting Wheelabrator started. I was part of that whole team there. And, so, I mean, I'm glad to see things continuing, and it's sad to me that the recycling has, diminished, and, I mean, not diminished, but isn't,
The
accept-
value isn't.
yeah, the value, yeah, it's problematic, and, I'm like a Nazi, so to speak, but when I have everything and the kids come and say, this goes here, this goes here, but again,
Like you said, that was always the plan, right? The recycling.
yeah,
Change everything and make everything better.
Yeah.
It became China
It's
store.
great for a while.
Yeah, it was, like you said, I mean,
yeah,
back when we started it, you're
Yeah.
getting paid.
yeah,
Recycling right along.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Kept it separate. We did paper and cardboard and then bottles and cans. We kept it all separated. There was a rebate on the paper and there was a charge on the cans, but now, I mean, on the glass and stuff with the mixed one. But now all that's gone away with single stream. I mean, it's created a lot easier for everyone to do it. You're not source separating, but, yeah, it's gonna be the way of the future. There's gonna be a
So-
charge.
What you see coming forward is potentially no more actual separation possibly, even at the curbside?
No, curbside, you only
See
go
that
on a single
ever
stream.
happening?
Yeah, because DEP will never allow us to
No.
take the municipal contract and the recycling. So it's always gonna be, if the municipal contract has a curbside program, they're gonna have a recycling program as well.
But single stream is better than, dual.
They're breaking it all.
Yeah, exactly, because
Yeah.
now you're running, it's more time consuming, a different truck. You get a lot more things going on when you're doing a dual stream.
Yeah,
And extra costs.
it just, it's kind of funny because, single stream now, you're trying to encourage the resident to recycle more, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But now, because of the MAC, it actually costs you money,
Yeah.
more money per ton for recycling than it does for garbage right
Yep.
now.
right, which
Yeah,
is, which is hard to understand. I mean, like, as I said, back in the day, and my kids will say to me, "Oh, that back in the day, everything's back in the day." But back in the day, with the recycling program, we were so happy with how that was working, and
Yeah, well, because you had countries that were taking anything.
Yep.
They were
Basically
taking,
trash.
and
basically
I was just
trash.
gonna say, basically garbage, and we were profiting from that. Now that's
That's
gone, so now it's processing here,
right,
you know what I mean? And then there's the requirements that they have to meet for recycled products that they have to use. So that costs money. That's where the cost basis is for the recycling right now.
Mhm.
When I first started and I did Blackstone and I went to Holliston, there was no recycling. Everything went in the trash.
Yep.
Metal, Freon, TVs, you name it,
Batteries,
it went in the
everything.
back of the rear loader and it went to plane.
Yep. Yeah.
So that was, I did Blackstone, my first town was Blackstone, and we had the Blackstone landfill there.
Yeah.
And I dumped in there for years and years, Blackstone Valley with Jacqueline
But
Francois.
now, oh, yeah, the legend.
Yep.
And that's the recycling center now.
Yeah.
And it was because the commodities market was so good years ago, 20 years ago, that's how helped fund the recycling center.
Remember the days when we used to get back upwards of a couple of $1,000s, like in a quarter for the
Yeah.
paper.
Oh, yeah.
right,
Paper had value.
Paper and cardboard, we use that.
It was, I mean, clean cardboard, poof,
Oh, yeah.
that was gold,
Yeah.
you know?
Nowadays it's just.
No,
No.
it's just cardboard now.
Yeah.
And it costs you money. Glass, like Mike was saying, it's ridiculous.
Even the cardboard is so hard too.
Yeah.
It goes in the machines with the glass that gets embedded with the glass shots.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't have the quality that it does if it comes out of like a supermarket where all they're putting in is cardboard in that
Right.
container. It's a much different grade that you can get out of a single source like that.
Right.
But a curbside program,
No, it's all,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the nature of the baler too, unless you have a dedicated baler for cardboard and paper, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Especially when you pull up and look in the well.
How's the fleet been holding up?
what?
The fleet, the from the truck's perspective itself?
Tuesday morning, we had some issues. One of the tanks must have had something wrong with it because we had a lot of gel in just the trucks. It's because we got two full service stations where we can fuel on the property. And one of them must have had an issue, so they're cleaning that this week. So that meant that, had to pull a lot of fuel filters, get them up. But for the most part, they've been running pretty good. Pots are the biggest issue right now. Is it possible
Trying to get them?
to get pots, especially from the Labrie? Most of the trucks that we run, like the split bodies, are all Labries.
Yeah.
There are so many of them out there. The Labrie comes from Canada. And there's so many of them out there that you're at the mercy of them 6 to 8 weeks to get the pots in. So that's always an issue. Yeah, it's awful. Like, and Mac's the same way. We're still waiting on 2 Mac trucks that were 2 years out. They should have been here already.
Oh, my word.
So when you're looking to bid a contract, you're looking 1.5 years out to order your trucks for a contract.
Yep.
That's how big they are. That's how far out you need to go. So, yeah, like you said, it's tough.
Painful.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's very difficult for a municipality too, to plan.
Yep.
It really is. It really puts them in a difficult position.
I know from our perspective with the El Harvey now, we're we're in the last part of our contract. And we start our first extension here.
Correct.
We have a
2 years.
2-year extension. So we'll start our first extension here in July 1. And then won't be long before we'll be looking at, a new.
And like I said, who knows what the market's gonna be like in 2 years from now, right?
Right.
We have no idea what
Right.
it's gonna be at.
Exactly. I mean,
The trucks that we run right now, so the truck that's in this town is almost $550,000 for that truck. So, I mean, you see more and more municipalities that are doing it themselves. That's starting to question whether or not they can do it themselves anymore.
Yeah.
We're talking to one right now that wants to get out. So we're looking at probably a July 1 start of, I think it's 3 trucks. So 3 trucks that we're gonna run out there, 4 trucks every day. So that'll be a July 1 start.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
Yeah, that's what happens. You get to a point where, you just can't get the drivers. Most municipal towns are union, so now you're dealing with the union rate as well.
Oh, yeah,
Actually, Boston just went out to bid.
really?
That's 50 trucks.
Wow.
well,
That's what I said to him. Well, I brought it up the other day. I said, "Oh, it's right in our wheelhouse, 50 trucks. You ready?" It's a nightmare. Boston is absolutely.
yeah.
So you're running all railroaders, you're doing all the old way, because all the one ways, all the dead
Oh,
ends.
yeah.
Well,
So
yeah,
you-
all those streets that are so narrow that are,
You can't run you can't run
right. Right.
Even Fitchburg, I do Fitchburg, and
Right.
Fitchburg, there's so many one ways that we run a railroader out there and pick it up because you can't, you come down, there's a lot of multifamilies and
Yeah.
you've got 4 or 5 cots sitting out there. You
Yeah.
can't have a guy running back and forth, one guy, so we
No.
have 2 people on that truck. So it's, that's all old school.
Yep.
But in reality, it's kind of what you need for some of these.
Right, it's the most efficient way,
Yeah,
really.
it is.
It's the most efficient way.
Yeah,
to do
one
it.
pass down, and Capital does Boston right now, he runs 2 shakers on the back of every truck. So they go down the street one time, they're dragging everything to the truck, dumping everything, and down they go.
Yep,
So, like I said, it's old school, that's how we did it back in the day.
yeah,
Now you see it coming back because of the fact that, so many one ways, so many streets, like the oldest cities were built for like the automated trucks. They get out to Arizona, everything's got a cul-de-sac at the end of it. You come in, you make a U, you come right back out. There's very few of those in New England. One of them-
Boston, I lived by where I grew up, it was a dead end street. I remember as a kid, that trash truck had to come down Putnam Street, back up, and then back himself up to Elwood Street.
Yeah.
And there was 9 multifamilies, 8 multifamilies on that street.
I did Southbridge for years and years, and it's the same way. Southbridge is all multifamilies.
Yep.
We were doing it with railroads back in the day, and we'd be down there picking the trash up, and somebody throw a bag off the 3rd floor.
Oh, yeah.
And they try and get the.
My aunt was famous for that.
Try and get in the back of the truck. Lots of war stories like this. It's
Yeah.
getting hot. Finding people that, nobody wants to, everybody's entitled. Nobody really wants to do a route anymore. So
Right.
it's very tough to get people. Everybody wants to sit at home and play TikTok or do, YouTube and get paid for, sitting at home. So it's much different nowadays than it was when I started. You had to know somebody to get in to be a member. Back in the day, you couldn't just, they didn't even advertise. You knew somebody, that's how you get in. And then nowadays, they're doing bonus structures, recruiters, it's much different now.
Yeah.
There was one other item I happened to see on the agenda, which I want to give you folks a shout out for further down. We'll be talking about a scholarship. But just for the folks out there, E.L. Harvey sponsors the scholarships that we provide out there to the applicants. So we thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Household hazardous waste day too, we do those, so that
Yep.
helps.
Yeah.
Makes a difference, like you said.
It does make a difference.
It does, makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
Well, they're community events and,
Yep.
and it's nice to, that you can sponsor them for, for the residents. We were just talking about.
We get the open tops too, that you get a couple open tops every year. If you need an
Yep.
open top, we do it for free for the town. So that's all stuff that we kind of make it attractive, so that way that you want to stay with us, not go out the bid.
And we do.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
A lot of good value adds that E.L. Harvey has brought.
Yeah.
For the town of Mendon that are included in the services.
Yeah, definitely.
People might not realize. So it's
And our new DVP actually moved into, so you got one of the houses, that new development, used to be the old sand pit down there, when you headed into our Uxbridge. I'm trying to remember the name of the road. Where,
Uxbridge.
On off
Not
of
Rich.
15?
yeah, if you go straight through the light, up here at the light, go straight through, and then you take that left, like Northbridge Street, is that
North
what?
Ave.
Yeah.
Off North
North
Ave.
Avenue.
Okay, so
So
go down that, on the
actually-
right-hand side, he just moved into there.
Oh, that big development.
That big
Yes.
development, yeah, so
Yes, that'd be tough.
he's our new DVP, Mike Doyle, he lives in town.
Lisco Springs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
So he was looking around and, trying to figure out where to go. And I said, what do you think of Menace? Menace is a great little town. He said, plus we service it, so you'll be all set. So he's in there. So I'll get him out one day so you guys can meet him, but he's right here in town. So
Great.
BJ's been promoted, so BJ's kind of moved into a new role. So he's covering all the United States. Big role. So actually, so Mike Doyle's been, I guess the last 7 months has been just following him around, learning everybody in the market and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I tried to get him to come tonight. There you go.
He said it's too cold.
Yeah,
I'm not going.
and that's it. So.
Well, that's very interesting. Yeah, that he's there.
Yep, it's right in town. So
Yeah.
he said, make sure you take care of him. I said, yes, sir.
So that's up near the school. Is he?
No, that's down. Yes, it's,
Misco. Remember where Misco Springs
Yeah.
down there?
yeah, down there. So you take that left right before you get to Misco, right before you get to the school. I think it's the big left that goes down into Northbridge, I believe, down there.
Yeah, it's like Northbridge Road.
Yeah,
It's
Northbridge.
on your right-hand side.
Yeah.
It's on your right-hand side right there. Beautiful development, big development.
I think the back half of that is actually in Upton.
Right,
Right?
some of it is in Upton.
That's what Piper's been in.
Yeah.
Is Upton.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I used to come out when I did Upton, I'd be coming out and I'd turn around there to go back and to finish off my route in Upton when I was doing that, so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
If anyone else had any other questions, or Mike, did you have anything for us, or?
No, I think I'm good, I think everything's going
We
well.
know you're good.
But I think Menon works well with, the single truck. So it keeps costs down. We're able to do it. You get weekly, so you're not dealing with every other week. A lot of towns that have every other week have issues because they forget what week it is and stuff like this. So this town is the perfect size for the truck that we run out here, so.
I got a question for you. Have you had any issues with the totes as people reaching out, needing to do any kind of replacements? Have you had any
Not a
problems in
lot.
that regard?
Not a lot. I mean, every once in a while, you're gonna get one that's get broken or gets hit by a
Yeah.
car or something. But for the most part, no. I mean, and, I think we get more from like the bigger communities where, you got more multifamilies,
Yeah.
that, they end up, either disappearing or God knows what happens to them, but
Right.
the little ones, like the little tiny 35-gallon ones that a lot of them go with, those tend to break a lot, just because of the fact they get stuck, they're smaller.
Mm.
And you gotta beat them up a little bit more, to try to get their money's worth out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
Holliston.
little tougher. Yeah, it's a little tough. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, Bellingham's had them now for, that was one of my first communities we did. And they don't replace them that often at all. They should last at least 10 years. And, if it's not getting beat up or it's not, something silly, they'll go 15 years easy.
Nice. Good to hear.
Yep.
Well, that's all I had. I really appreciate you coming in tonight and talking to us and
You're welcome.
giving us the updates. Joyce, anything you want to sign off with or?
No, I'm just happy this year.
It's a-
You know, I think it's a great program. Again, you know, I feel like I started a program here back in the day because of Ferrucci. When had to go to court because he was taking all the stuff and he said to me, now what are you gonna do? I said, well, I'm going to do this. We're going to have a house-to-house pickup and who's gonna do that? You know? And that's how it worked.
Yeah.
So.
The
Was
rest
like,
is
yeah.
There you go.
Well, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to see you. We'll be talking again soon, hopefully.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens on the snowstorm this week. And I'll,
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
It's gonna be
This was-
classic nor'easter, they said.
And this was gonna be a tough one, because, you know, it's not following a track that's definite, so, you know, last thing you wanna do is make a decision on
Right.
Friday like we did with the last one, because we knew
You knew it was coming.
it was coming. You make a decision on Friday, and then the thing on Saturday turns, and now it's sunny on Monday, and we're sitting there going, oh.
Right.
So.
Right, I don't think this one you'll be calling until Sunday.
Yeah, it might either be a Saturday or a Sunday by the time we call it. Saturday, they should have a pretty good idea of how this is coming, but it'll probably be a Saturday call when I make the call and do all that, let everybody know that we'll be delaying.
Now that raises an interesting question. So in the case where it might be a kind of a 11th hour call,
Right.
you're not sure how the storm's gonna go. From an,
He has my cell phone number. He
Okay.
will contact me.
Yeah.
I will get on my laptop and alert the town subscribers.
So,
beautiful.
so a good thing to do is to put out that, you know, with the impending snowstorm coming, don't put your totes out on Sunday early,
Right.
because it might work, you know, we might be
Mhm.
canceled.
Well, I was,
And you're gonna get plowed in, so you know, you can almost do that on your thing, do a Facebook page right
Mhm.
now. That way there, you're letting them know, with this storm coming and it's still uncertain, do not put your totes out on Sunday, because if they're buried or knocked over,
Right, they
Yeah.
can't
you
be.
can't see them, you can't service them.
yeah, correct.
It's gonna be a mess. So if you do something like that, where you let them know that, hey, there's a storm coming, this one's very iffy. So we're doing the same thing, we're telling everybody that we can talk to right now, that, you know, hey, let the residents know, if they put them out on Sunday, don't do it this Sunday, because let's see what happens with the storm.
Now, when we do, I know you say you do
Reverse 911.
reach out to subscribers. Is it, we do via phones or are we doing it just on our website
It's
or?
on the website where if you're registered, you get the alerts when you text or your phone.
Okay, so as long as you're registered in that
Yeah.
application.
That's the best way too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
It
everybody's
also goes, I'm
nowadays.
sorry, it also goes on the Mendon Facebook page too, and on the main page of the website.
Beautiful. Okay. So folks, if you're not signed up for that application, sign up. Get notified.
All
Cool.
right.
Excellent.
Right.
Thanks.
Good night. Stay warm.
Safe travels.
Yes, always, right? Bye now.
Good
Be
night.
good. Tell Phil we say hello.
Lovely seeing you.
Nice seeing you too.
Yep.
All right, have a great night.
You too.
You as well. All
Nope, still nobody on.
right, on to our next topic on the new business. We have dumpster regulations, amendments, draft, review, and discussion.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I didn't know if you want to put past this until the chairman's. on the
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it would be good. It's
Next meeting.
just kind of FYI for the folks. We're working on making some modifications or some tweaking
Mhm.
our dumpster regulations. And some initial things that I've worked on with Jack, and it'd be good to kind of hold off, and when Alan's here, the whole board has a chance to kind of take it all in and add, modify, or what have you.
All right, so I'll move this to the next meeting.
Put that up to next meeting, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay. Next up on the agenda, we have appointment of Rory Crisfield as our second burial agent for the town of Mendon. Now, given that we would need to take a vote for that as well.
You would need to take a vote, but I honestly, it's up to the board's discretion, but I don't think Alan will have any objection to do it.
Wouldn't think, right?
Yeah, we
No,
could take
not at
it.
all.
I think, yeah.
So the board, I believe, if the board's good with it, to vote for it.
Okay,
I make a motion that we accept this Rory as the burial agent of the town.
I'll, you said you step down?
Yep.
Yep, need to step down, and I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Joyce, I.
Tom, I.
Thank you.
So carried. Congratulations, Rory. And I just learned, I didn't realize that was even under the Board of Health domain. I was having a discussion with that with Pauline earlier today.
Right,
I think this is the first time since I've been on the board that we've had to actually do that,
that we've had a burial agent.
you know?
Hmm.
But that could be called,
No.
so, yeah. Okay, next, going to go to old business.
Yep.
We have rabies clinic update.
And again, that was Chairman Greenberg.
That was,
talked
that's
about.
right. So I know our chairman, Mr. Greenberg, was going to be looking into a couple of things for us. So we move that on to the
Next meeting.
agenda.
I did speak with Kevin Sullivan, the ACO, about it, and he said that whomever it is, he'd be happy to work with them.
Great, excellent.
Yeah.
Just so the folks know, we're looking at possibly trying to bring back the rabies clinic. It was something that we did for many years in the town. And we're looking to try to kind of put that back as a regular community thing for folks here in town. All right. On to the next item on the agenda, we have BOH admin updates. Jack?
Mr. Vice Chairman, I don't know if you want to put this on the next agenda, but I do have the BNA contract of fiscal year 27 for review and discussion. So,
I think, well, myself, I would say we probably would want to wait until Alan is present for that
Yeah,
discussion.
I agree.
Makes sense?
so move that to next
Back
meeting
to
as
the
well.
next meeting. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We have time with that, right?
What's that?
We have time.
Oh, definitely, yes.
That renews what, every May?
Um,
May to May or?
no, it's on July
It is
1st.
July.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Next item, the Board of Health Scholarship Application Review and Discussion. Same,
Again, it's another with Chairman Greenberg not being in attendance. Would the
Yeah.
board like to review it or wait, hold past till the next meeting?
I would say hold until the next, what do you think, Joyce?
Well, to me, it's a no-brainer. That I think that we agree on the scholarship. We've always done that. And, I think why not take care of it right now? I mean, I don't think Alan would have a bit of a problem with
I
it.
agree.
Yeah, I think we'd probably still want to keep, I mean, the EL Harvey, as they present to us, they do it as 2 500 scholarships, but we decided to kind of combine it as one offering for $1,000 scholarship. And I think we've all been in agreement with that.
Right? Yeah.
We've been doing that, so,
I can make a motion if you want.
To keep it at 1,000?
Yes?
yeah.
You want to make that motion?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you knew that was what I was saying.
You should know that.
I make the motion that we continue with the $1,000 scholarship for the year for each.
Okay.
I'll step down and second that motion. So, all in favor?
Joyce, I.
Tom, I.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Next we had, well, that's probably something I think that'll wait. We had the FY 27 proposed budget review. and
Yeah.
discussion.
Okay.
I think
Mr. Vice Chairman, I believe again, we're going to have to
we should wait for the chair.
chair on that as well.
Present.
Yeah,
This might be the quickest meeting in BOH history.
yeah.
Striving for history. Okay, next up we have health agent updates.
I am in the process of writing up the reports. I recently inspected the 3 evergreen centers in town. I have a couple of state sanitary code inspections of landlord tenant issues that I'll be inspecting probably this week. And I have 2 food establishments that I'm due to inspect. I made arrangements with one of them for next week, depending upon the storm for Monday, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got an opportunity because, not that things are quiet, they're not, but to revisit the blasting regulations. So I was happy about that.
The blasting. Oh, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Monday, I had brought the laptop home and my files on it and familiarized myself with it and did a little bit more research. So
Yeah.
that's something I'm going to be concentrating on the winter before we start back with, it's only going to be probably 6-8 more weeks tops.
Yeah.
right,
So it's like 2 months, yeah.
with food trucks.
Do you have a, speaking of blasting, is there a particular target timeline you're thinking of trying to kind of have something where we would motion to kind of accept or put into play?
Yeah, I mean, the sooner the better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because, we can't, I would rather us be prepared.
Ahead,
Not,
ahead
right.
of the game rather than
Right.
behind. Yeah, I agree.
So that's my plan.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm in favor of that. I vote for her plan.
All right. With that. Pretty much so.
Yeah, other than, Jack Sullivan, sent an update, yesterday. I think it was his weekly report, and basically he said that, COVID cases and flu cases have somewhat stabilized now. No surprise.
And just to reiterate, Jack Sullivan is the Blackstone Valley Branch Public Health Epidemiologist.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't think of like Jack Sullivan. Oh, yeah.
Saw my eyes.
Yeah, he said that they're somewhat stabilized. They're still testing the wastewater. And, you know, people should be diligent, you know, with washing their hands, and if you're sick, you know, please stay at home. If you do have to go to work, and you still do have a cough or, you know, sneezing or whatever, you may want to consider wearing a mask.
And I believe the partnership's trying to get flu COVID tests.
Yes, we're meeting on Monday morning.
Monday morning,
Thanks,
yes.
Jack. We had some funds left over from, the public health nurse, took a new job, as a public health nurse in 2 other communities. So we thought we would use those funds to see if we can't get some more tests, because we're all out of them and people are still asking for them.
I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Monday morning, we have our meeting at 9 o'clock to vote to use those funds, because you have to have a meeting to do that.
Okay.
Yep, so that's what we have cooking right now.
How did everything go with applications for all the food establishments as a whole? Everything that's squared away to start off the new year?
Everybody's good. Everybody's valid.
Great.
Just a couple of stragglers.
Yeah, that we had to chase, phone call,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, suggest,
But we
provide a
got
timeline for them.
Yeah,
But everyone's on,
Board.
has been filed on board, yep.
You have any questions or anything? You good?
No, I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Thank you, Colleen. Next up, we have topics not anticipated within 48 hours.
I have nothing.
Colleen?
No, just that report from Jack Sullivan.
Joyce, you have anything?
No,
I have none.
Okay.
Unanimous. All right, next up, we have good and welfare for the board.
it sounds like going home.
Record time. You were all set in that category?
I am.
The only thing I had was something I thought I'd mention. It's actually from an email that I saw come through just Monday. And it had to do with, came from the Office of Local and Regional Health. And I guess they are involved in hosting an internship program where interns, where towns can actually apply to have an intern work for the community over the summertime to work on a particular need or project, task or something.
Like a medical intern?
It didn't seem to be necessarily specifically medical, because the examples, they had a whole list of examples of the 2025 projects that different towns submitted to get an intern to work on.
Mhm.
Some of it was medical related, some of it was database gathering. Some of it was just general analysis for different elements within the Board of Health, things that they've been trying to catch up on
Mhm.
or do, but just haven't had enough
People,
hours or people
yeah, to do
to
it.
do them. So I just bring it up. I didn't know if there's anything in anyone's mind that they could think of that might be something we would want to throw out as a project to have an intern potentially consider jumping on board for.
Yeah, think about it.
Throw it out there. I know they had a date on it, which is, I just saw it just Monday, but it says the application opened January 5th and the application closes February 6th.
Okay.
So it's
I didn't see
a
that.
week. You can take that if you want, but which is only another week, right?
Right, yeah.
So if you happen to think of anything that you think might
somebody might be able to
you know,
fulfill.
follow into. I also just attached some examples from some of the towns. And that represents what they did in 2025. So you get an idea, but
Yeah,
It
that's
was
great.
more- you know, like I said, some medical, some not medical. You know, some look like a couple of towns were catching up on database, catch up,
Mhm.
that sort of thing, you know. So if you think of something,
Yeah, definitely.
something,
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's all I had in that category.
Good.
Yep.
good.
And if there's nothing else, I'm not seeing anybody else who's joined
Nope.
remotely. So unless anyone has anything else they'd like to offer or discuss, or
I'm good.
everyone good? Everyone have a New Year's resolution?
Oh, yeah.
Smart woman? No?
No?
No, smart man?
No.
Smart woman?
You?
Smart people, we don't have any New Year's resolution.
We're perfect.
So I guess,
I'm trying to just keep going in the same
There
way.
you go.
there you go. That's good. So I guess with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Scheduled next meeting?
Oh, schedule the next meeting. That would be a good idea.
What was it?
So what would be the date?
The next meeting will be scheduled for February 11th, 6 PM.
Okay,
February 11th? Have that in my calendar. I think I do. Yes, I do.
you getting
I love
close?
my calendar.
Good.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah,
think
crazy.
it's that, I think it's so great.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just like, it's right there. I don't have to think, well, where did I put it?
Yep,
It's right here, my thing,
that keeps us
my wonderful thing that,
on track. That's right.
Perfect.
I like that color. I got beige, but
I tried to be different.
this is okay.
this goes with my eyes.
There you go.
It does, yep. Okay, so next meeting at 6, won't be long before we move in the timeout.
Yeah.
7 again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Golf will be starting up soon, Joyce. Right?
Yes.
All right, so I guess with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Mhm.
And this,
I'll step down and second that motion.
I was gonna give you the time, but
All in favor?
Joyce, I.
Tom, aye.
All right, thank
Good
you.
night,
everyone.
everyone. Good night, everyone. Happy New Year. Stay healthy. Thank you very much.
Behave yourselves. For change.